Know what you think about the new price increases for the Xbox Live Gold service. We'll see how that works out for them.
And last from my end on this subject is I did just check that 12-month membership for Xbox Live Gold is still on Amazon for $60.
That's a good deal.
It's still available.
That's a great deal for them.
Yeah, and that's of Friday the 22nd. So there you go.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so with that, Corey's going to take us home. Take us home, Corey, with some information from Newegg on their new lottery system.
Yep. So just found this on PC Magazine. They were talking about how Newegg, if you're not familiar with Newegg, Newegg is a online service that you can buy stuff from, and mainly, I mean, there's a lot of new things on here that they didn't used to do before, but mainly Newegg is for like computer parts, right? Electronics.
Sure.
And so anyway, so Newegg, like every other supplier or end supplier for computer parts, was having issues with some of the things that that people are really having problems finding. Everything in high demand: 3000 series cards, the new AMD CPUs, the not so much the Intel ones, but similar. And they tried something out. They tried out what they called Newegg Shuffle. So basically, there was a frame of time, 3-hour time frame, where you could go on and you could pick things that you were interested in.
Go ahead.
Out of the shuffle, and then they would draw people for those products during that time frame.
Okay.
And then you had a limited amount of time from then to purchase it.
The Newegg Shuffle.
So it's a Newegg Shuffle lottery, basically.
I'm sorry, it's a stupid name, just a dumb name.
Yeah. So
the Newegg Shuffle.
The idea, right, of this whole thing was that they were trying to head off the scammers. Everybody who's or the scammers and the bots. Everybody who's trying to buy all these new performance parts that can do a lot of either scalping for prices and they sell them somewhere else for more money, or they use it for like Bitcoin mining or something else, Ethereum mining, stuff like that.
Sure.
But anyway, the complaint going around for months is really not too new news, is that people who want them for like gamers or people, the average person at home who wants one of whatever just can't get it. And so Newegg trying this, it hasn't happened since they tried it again. It was just this week they tried this out, and I haven't seen it since then.
Right.
We can hope that whatever data they got from it is they found out that it worked well enough that hopefully not the scammers got it, or the bots as much, and maybe they'll bring it back and it'll be a method for the average person to try to get what they want. But it's still to be seen a bit, and I guess part of it all comes down to still supply, right?
Sure.
I mean, if Newegg doesn't have it to sell, it doesn't really matter who they sell them to. So we've known about supply chain problems for multiple reasons with multiple products lately, from cars to computers, right?
Right.
And if Newegg doesn't have it to sell, it doesn't really matter how they go about selling them. So we'll see. But this is something I'll keep track of this too for you guys, and if it's something that I find I have success with, we'll let you know.
I don't. You see, so like I get it. People always are out there, right? The scammers want to take advantage of everything out there in the marketplace to benefit them. They'll buy whatever they can, and then they'll release it back to you on on eBay for 3 times the price, right? On all these other sales and whatnot. And when I think about that, look, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and make their money, right? I get the scalpers want to do what they're doing. And obviously, if you want to go to places like a baseball game, people have been scalping tickets for those for years. So
yeah, it's not a new business
model. Not a new business model. It is what it is. And for me, I'm just thinking out loud about what's going to be the difference in the not too distant future of when manufacturers are going to catch on to the fact that maybe they need to have a little bit more of a backlog of product to make people happy, rather than just continually try to get these things out in November and piss off half of their community because they can't get their hand on them. Sure, it's great to have demand, but it's another thing to know that your community is going to be ultimately dissatisfied by the fact you didn't bring enough stuff to the party.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah. Where am I? You can try to drive prices up with scarcity, but at some point it's kind of ridiculous.
Sure. It is weird.
We're not saying it was intentional, but anyway.
It's just... when you're going to accuse a manufacturer of a paper launch and you're going to accuse them for literally not doing enough work to get, product home. And that's ultimately the goal here is, right? They spend all this money marketing this stuff for 7-8 months, even in some cases a year and a half with the leaks on the technology, the specs, and what it's going to accomplish for you. And then you're only ultimately a pissed off customer because, you went to the store, sat in line for 7.5 hours, which I have done for several different console launches, only to be disappointed. I mean,
there was like 5 and you were 6th in line.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm 6th, I'm gonna get it. Nope.
When the Xbox came out, I was actually in Times Square at Toys R Us. I watched Bill Gates walk in the building. I was number like 34 online. I'd been online for hours upon hours, and I saw the first guy get his Xbox and go, "Paching!" And I was like, and I had been out for many, many launches since then. I had been out for the PlayStation 2 and many others, the old Dreamcast. There's many that I've sat outside buildings for late nights.
Same. Yeah, Xbox, multiple Halo games. I mean, just into the night, sitting out waiting for stuff to come out.
So suck it up, millennials. Unless you're willing to stand outside in the freezing, bitter cold to get your game consoles in November, I don't think you have much ground to stand on because the scammers have you beat.
Bots.
Well, I mean, look, you can't click fast enough. Is that going to be the next argument that people have here? I couldn't click fast enough.
Actually, I've already heard that, man. I've already heard people F5 the page, refresh.
Right.
If you're not familiar, you can hit F5 on your browser and it'll refresh for a product launch at 12:01 a.m.
Sure.
And they're F5, and it's like, not out yet, not out yet. And then hit F5 and it's like sold out.
Sold out immediately.
Like,
and look,
it's one F5. Like there was like 3 seconds.
The 3080's
all gone.
Look, if you're in the technology game though, if you're a technology nerd, I've waited online for phones, right? I've done that too. I've waited online for more technology products than I care to admit, and I've made it part of my lifestyle, which this is perfectly good if you're a technology junkie. The difference is, I guess, like I said, make more product, delay the product. Make sure that you have 3 million that you could solve, and think about the net sales. It used to be, I think, when the Sony PlayStation 3 came out, it broke the all-time retail sales record for anything released in human history. And I believe when the Xbox X came out, it did nearly the same thing. And, these are boons for these manufacturers that could actually bring more supply and help themselves in retail sales as well. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Or is it our fault because we're just too greedy?
I don't think so. I think, I mean, look, I'm just looking for a 3080 YouTube. So
yeah, 3080 would be nice. If I had them
3080,
And if you guys like and subscribe, maybe one day we'll both have 3090s and we could bring you our impressions on it. Although I don't need the frames on that. I just need a 3080.
Yeah, that'd be great, but I don't want to be greedy,
Well, see, I kind of need it.
Breath of the Wild 2. Yeah, somebody in chat.
I
You bet we'll be talking about
Sure,
that.
but I have to feed triple 2K monitors here. Yeah, this thing is going hungry sometimes. It could hit those extra frames and I'll just never see it. Maybe I should just pony up and buy the 3090.
It's literally twice the price. You say that, and I wasn't. It's not directly related to this article, but I saw somebody just this morning, an editor, I think, at like Tom's Hardware.
Yeah.
He was waiting for 3080 since launch,
Right.
and he said he just broke down and bought a 3090.
Okay.
And he's like, because supply is not as much a problem.
He had a
3090s,
relapse.
right? Because they're literally
relapse.
Twice the price.
Sure.
$1,500 to $1,800 for a 3090.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, see, 39. Now, if you had one 4K screen and you were doing it for like 20 frames per second, I'd be like, not worth it. But in my particular case, I could probably average over all 3 screens, probably 12 to 15 FPS depending on the game, especially iRacing. iRacing, I'm sure, would milk that thing up to 120 hertz, and I'd be golden because all 3 of the monitors can do 144. Other people, no, I don't think so. Christina Richards chimed in. Yes, by the way, Breath of the Wild 2. And even some DLC. Okay, settle down, all the Switch fans out there. We haven't done any Switch covering.
I am also excited for Breath of the Wild 2. Whenever that.
You know what I'm gonna need? I'm gonna need a cricket sound, because occasionally there's some games out there that just don't do it for me. And not to knock the Breath of the Wild 2 community, because my wife is a huge Nintendo fan, and I would have no problem with her playing any Nintendo game on the face of the planet because they're enjoyable. Just, they've never really done it for me. I could try though.
I mean, dude, an open world Zelda game? What's not to like?
Guns? I need more guns.
I mean, there's a lot of cooking in that game, which is a thing. But
wow,
it's really good though.
There you go, folks. Breath of the Wild 2 coming to a console to you with lots of cooking.
So So Newegg.
So Newegg, on to Newegg. Anyhow, folks.
Yeah, but anyway, so like I said, guys, with the article about Newegg, if this thing happens, and again I have any luck, I'll be talking about it. I'll let you guys know through one of our channels.
So did you put in for the shuffle?
You know, I didn't get in on time for this shuffle lottery. So when I tried to go to Newegg and find it, no, it's not. You can't right now. It's not a thing right now. They're considering whether to do it again, basically.
Gotcha. Awesome.
So I mean, the big other than just on the face of it, what we said to shuffle and then a lottery, the big hoopla in the beginning was that some of the things that were in high demand, 3080s and some of the AMD Ryzen cards or CPUs, you could get them if you got in the lottery, but you could only get them bundled with something else.
Oh, the old bundle.
Which was even more kind of like, what the hell? Because now you get the lottery. Dude, you could buy a 3080, but you got to get with the motherboard.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of funny because I haven't heard the old.
Wait.
I haven't heard about the old bundle situation in a very, very, very long time.
So there you go.
Weird.
But that was how it was initially, and then before the shuffling lottery was over, they changed it back. So they are experimenting with things.
I got my Gigabyte, so I have the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 2080 Super in my PC, and I got it from Newegg because they were the only ones that had it at the time. Otherwise, I got all my other stuff off of Amazon for this PC build that I did, except for the case, which I actually got from of all places, Best Buy. Actually, I'm finding out that Best Buy has done a little bit better ever since, I guess it was it Tiger Direct was the one that went under a few years ago. Because we used to have CompUSA and Tiger Direct.
CompUSA. Micro Center's still around, right?
Micro Center's still around. If you're lucky enough to be near Micro Center, which is fantastic. They have all this stuff. But I've seen Best Buy where they kind of shied away from getting into all the PC peripherals and all that a few years ago when they thought consoles were really going to take over. And let's face it, 5 years ago, everyone was saying the PC was dead. There was no one out there that was really saying the PC is going to make it in the gaming environment. And the PC now is flourishing. And I don't even mean flourishing. I mean, it's bringing people back into the realm of gaming because they've done just such a great job of making better releases, more peripherals, better content. And I know you can get stuff on console, but there's something about a PC that just doesn't.
And just to finish up my part of this whole thing with this article was I've been a bit not impressed, but kind of interested in how much success you can have sometimes at brick and mortar stores. If you're trying to find something electronic and you're because everybody's online, fair enough. It's the way 2020, 2021 goes, apparently.
Sure.
But yeah, sometimes going to straight brick and mortar down the street, if you're lucky and you run in and they just had a shipment roll in, boom, you pick up the thing no one could get. It's just boom, falls off the truck in your hands and you're out.
You might get COVID too, but guess what? You'll have your 3080.
But anyway, that's all for me. Yeah,
I feel you
for this.
All right, folks, it's coming to that time of the day. It's Friday, Friday the 22nd. Oh, by the way, for those of you that were tuned into my racing stream last night, I got railroaded in my race in Nara. That was a lot of fun, and actually, a bunch of you tuned in because I had a ton of views last night. It was fantastic. But thanks for the support for that as well. Anything else to say before the weekend? We're getting ready, excited for the Rolex. It's coming. In another week's time,
next weekend,
we'll be going to the Rolex. So we're going to be getting all our equipment together. I think we got a couple other things we're going to be doing for that with the lead up, which I think next week, at least part of every segment, will have something with the lead up to the Rolex. Something a little bit different for each day.
Yeah, we'll have to let you guys know how it'll work because what our schedule will be and all that. But yeah,
what for the Rolex day, for the actual day of?
Just like the weekend. I mean, it's a multiple day thing.
Yeah.
How are we going to do it? James in chat says went to Micro Center by him on Monday. There was hardly anything on the shelves.
Really?
What it says?
Well, you guys so that's a big difference when you come to places in colder environments and people are pushed indoors for gaming for 5 months at a time. I find that it goes a little differently because down here we don't seem to have those same types of dry spells that are completely empty. Matter of fact, I was really shocked the last couple times I've been in a Best Buy and I found literally healthy stocks of everything. It was amazing, including all the Elgato equipment, tons of stuff. So what was it, like 4 weeks ago? I went in, got some stuff, and hit all my marks. So
yeah, you went to that Best Buy and picked up a camera with no problem.
Yeah, so that was pretty easy. So anyhow, folks, thank you for your time. Thanks for the energy. Thanks for the subs and the likes. And please remember, if you're a new like or a new like. It's Friday. Anyhow, if you're a new viewer, like, subscribe, follow, and by all means, help give us the success to bring you more interesting content. So thanks for that, guys, and we will check in with you again. And take care. Have a good weekend. See ya.
Yeah, thanks. Take it easy.
Bye-bye. See you real soon. Bye-bye. Roscoe says bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye, Roscoe.
Bye.